Hello and welcome to the home screen of the Chord Builder program. This is the home screen that you'll see at the beginning of the presentation, and it will always go back here when you press the home screen button. As you can see, there's different icons like the bass notes and the sharps and flats. That shows you where the notes are on the bass. There's the major and minor guitar chords, the piano chords, piano intervals, the major and minor ukulele chords. There's a bass notes quiz, and then the chord sequences that you can play along to at the end of the slide. So if you click on the major guitar chords, you'll see that there's lots of different orange boxes that represent each of the major chords that can be played on a guitar. All you need to do is click on the orange boxes and they will appear. In the top left hand corner there are different coloured icons to help differentiate between which finger to use when the chord has been played, and they will appear on the neck. On the bottom of the fret numbers and down the left are the names of the strings, and a tab will appear when the chord pops up as well to help out with that. So if you go ahead and click on C major, as you'll see here, the picture of the chord turns up, the different finger positions turns up as well, and a little audio clip appears for you to play through to hear what it sounds like when it is played. So that plays through 4 times each for each chord and just helps with making sure the finger's in the right position and the chord sounds right. All you have to do to reset anything is press the little red button and it removes all of the images on the screen. As you can see now, click on an A major, you can reset it easily, G major, you can reset, and you can go through all these different chords. Now down at the bottom, if you click on the minor guitar chords, this brings up the minor guitar chords as well. Exactly the same, but a slightly different colour to remind the viewer that it is a different set of chords. Exactly the same setup for major ukulele chords and minor ukulele chords, but a slightly different colour to remind the viewer what they're looking at. Again, all the chords have a picture, the audio, what the tab looks like, and where you'd place which fingers on the fretboard to make sure they're correct. And as it plays through to the end, you can start it and stop it wherever you want. You can repeat it if you wish, and then you can get rid of it again by pressing the reset button in the top right hand corner. Really easy to use, really interactive, and any extra little notes that come up are in the middle of the screen in that pink box to make sure that the students can see what's going on. So if you go ahead and click on the piano button here, at the bottom of the screen it will bring up this empty piano reel in the bottom of the screen, and at the top are all the major and minor chords on the same page this time. Again, you just click on them and press reset if you want to get rid of them. They all come up on that bottom screen, majors and minors. Now at the bottom there, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, they are examples of some inversions should you be teaching your students about inversions, and your higher ability students should be looking to kind of incorporate these into their pieces. And this really helps with chord progressions on the piano as well as composition and performance of original music. So the intervals button takes us to this screen here, which has got an empty keyboard again, but this time you can click individual notes instead of chords. And this really helps with teaching piano intervals and scales. So you can see here the G major scale has been mapped out, but when you want to get rid of it, you just press that reset button. You can also add in all the notes to a chord if you wish as well. So here's a D major 6th, for example, that you can use to show more complex chords that aren't in the major and minor piano chords page. So for students, it's really engaging. It's easy to use. You can click on anything you want and you can easily get rid of it. And it'll help them with hand-to-eye coordination when they're taking it from the screen to the computer to learn these chords or the scales or the intervals, especially when it comes to playing with 2 hands or learning how chord progressions all fit together. And it's really good for you teaching theory as well, especially because it's very visual in front of them on the screen. So the bass notes icon at the bottom takes you to this screen and it shows you where the notes live on the bass. Quite simple. You click on the notes that you want to see and a little dot pops up on that fretboard. Any extra information comes on the right hand side there. So for example, this one is an open string note to help them understand that. And in the top right hand corner, some information about octaves and whether or not to choose the higher note or the lower note with your piece. The bass icon at the bottom of the screen then takes you to the sharps and flats, and it's exactly the same setup, but this time it's got the sharps and flat notes, again with the information coming to the right hand side of the screen and the octave information in the top right hand corner. Now in the bottom right hand corner there's a little quiz icon button, and that takes you to a bass notes quiz. The quiz tests your knowledge of where the notes are on a fretboard, and as you can see here there are 3 notes available and we're looking for the C note. If you get it wrong like this and like this, then a little X comes up, but if you get it correct, a little tick, and then the next button that takes you to your next question. You click the coloured box and the next question pops up again with 3 options, and as you can see here I got it right the first time, and it allows you to go to the next question once you have the correct answer. There are 10 overall, and at the end of that quiz there is a prompt to take you to your results page. Now from the home screen you can click on the chord sequences icon, and this takes you to a set of chords that you can play along to interactively. We have the piano chords, the guitar chords, the bass notes and the ukulele chords all on screen, and if you click this little ear in the top left hand corner, it plays through the chords, as you can hear, and each of the chords for each of the instruments pops up at the correct time, so you can learn to play along in time with the chords as they change. Now this goes around 4 times, but the chords are only on screen for the first 2, which means that the last 2 cycles of the chords, they're left to kind of figure it out themselves as they go. And that's it. This would be perfect for any students who are trying to figure out how to play chords on any of these instruments, as well as the intervals. And it's really useful to help them encourage independent learning through them, so they can actually figure it out themselves rather than us helping them every single step of the way. So having access to it would be really critical for any students to be able to use this, because it's really clickable, it's really interactive and really functional for whatever they need.